All right, Noel, this is your chance to redeem yourself. Tell everybody what we're here to talk about.
Hopefully. Okay, we're here to talk about some breaking news from Deadline that the star of HBO Max's hit series Lovecraft Country,
It's good stuff.
one Jonathan Majors, is supposedly gonna play Kang the freaking Conqueror in Marvel's upcoming movie Ant-Man 3.
So now,
And
if
the
you're not
quantum
familiar,
realm
if you're not
just
familiar with
became
Jonathan
crazier.
Majors, like Noel said, he's been tearing up the screens as we're all
Oh, hell
sitting
yeah.
in quarantine with Lovecraft Country. In
Yeah.
honor of that, I even have my Cthulhu shirt on. Lovecraft Country
There
has
you
really
go.
made him a star. And he's such a lead
Yep.
character, and he's so strong as far as like his on-screen performance. And with the loss of Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace, this has really been because one of the major questions, with Chadwick Boseman was the MCU had a major thing going for it as far as its diversity. It had a strong black male lead, and when Chadwick Boseman was gone, everyone's like, "Oh, how are you going to organically inject that demographic and that energy back into the MCU?" Yeah, because there were so many people from the black community that didn't see themselves as geeks or even interested, and then Black Panther brought them in, and that's why I love right now. That's why I love the introduction of Kang the Conqueror, because he's such a deep in the crate character.
Oh, I love Kang.
I
love Kang.
Like we're talking about like early Fantastic Four villain right here.
He's like a classic villain that is really under that word classic.
Yes.
He's like Dr. Doom and Galactus and all of these characters.
So he talking about the Galactus and all those people. They all share the same creator. This is a Jack Kirby, Stan Lee creation.
Oh yeah, he is definitely. You put these characters like Dr. Doom and Kang
the Eternals look, right?
Others.
Right.
Yeah, the Eternals / the New Gods, or like classic Jack Kirby Thor.
Yeah.
Put these characters side by side, and like they have a very specific look about them. And yeah, that's the Kirby look.
Because people heard Kang was coming, and they were like, all right, he's going to be our big overarching villain, and he's going to be brought up in maybe Fantastic Four. The fact they dropped him in Ant-Man, I think is amazing because one, Ant-Man also had the quantum realm and everything, and it really it re-injects sort of the magic into it. I like Kang the Conqueror because he's not a bad guy. And you learn the full Kang the Conqueror story.
Oh, yeah.
Even more than Killmonger, because I feel like they really added a lot to flesh out Killmonger's character. Kang the Conqueror basically is a time traveler who fights against himself. He's fighting for his reality, and sort of he's fighting for his perspective. It's a very compelling character. And when you read Kang the Conqueror and you realize why he dislikes the Avengers and Fantastic Four and different heroes, you really kind of, from his perspective, you're like, oh no, that makes complete sense. He's not doing it to be a jerk. He's doing it because like he needs to save his loved ones, and like this is important to his life. Like if he doesn't fight against our heroes, he dies. Unlike other villains where if he doesn't fight, he doesn't get some sort of superfluous goal or doesn't get money or something.
He comes from that Kirby line of well-written characters because again, like the Marvel way is the writer and the artist co-write and co-plot and co-create all of the comics. So Kirby's creations with Stan Lee, they were all very deep villains. Like Dr. Doom also wasn't just a bad guy. Galactus also wasn't just a bad guy. Mole Man wasn't just a bad guy.
So the reason why I think the elephant in the room, and we touched on this a little bit, is that there's been a race switch with Kang the Conqueror, and a lot of people. I feel that we've really gotten to a place in 2020 where that's not surprising anymore. But there still were some mumblings of people being like, "Oh, that's not right." But then even when I heard Kang the Conqueror, because I'm a fan of the character, when I heard Jonathan Majors would be playing it, I even took a pause and I was like, "Wait a minute, are they pandering because Black Panther died? Is it because they know it's the right thing to do, or are they saying that for the masses?" And then I thought about it, and I kind of like have to roll my eyes in the back of my head and think about Kang's history, and I realized that Kang always should have been black. I mean, he should have always been black. It's weird that Kang was white. Well, I mean, we know why he was white, back in those days, but it's odd for Kang to be not black.
They are pushing the whole diversity thing hard.
I love it. If Marvel, Kevin Feige has not let me down. Kevin Feige has consistently not let me down on this front about being progressive. So I hope he just maintains that, because like everybody knows eventually that's just the course of the world. And like it'd just be good to see the comics reflect that, the same way Marvel has reflected diversity in all other